Who? So, Manish, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, Johan. Good evening to you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you and your viewers. Hello, friends. Good evening, everyone. My name is Manish Mehta. I'm the national head of sales, marketing, and digital business at Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company. I have been a thorough financial services profession with over 25 years of work experience in the and and having spent about 17 years with Kotak Mahindra group of companies in various functions, namely the bank, the international offshore business, and the asset management business. And happy to be here with you, Johan, and take this discussion forward.
All right. So, Manish, why don't you give us a brief synopsis of your career and what your main motive was to choose financial services?
Sure. So, Johan, as a kid, when I was, in my growing up age, I was very clear about one thing that I always wanted to be in a customer-facing business. And, at that point of time, really didn't know much about financial services. So, two industries I was extremely fascinated about was the hospitality industry and the airline industry because I felt these two industries would give me an opportunity to interact and with a lot of customer facing kind of opportunities would be immense in those businesses. But by the time I finished my graduation and I decided to pursue my MMS degree, initially I thought I would do marketing, but in the second year I decided to pursue finance. And uh, and I got my first campus placement with the National Stock Exchange of India, which had started in 1994, and 95 they had introduced the debt market segment, and I joined them in the wholesale debt market segment, and that's how my journey in financial services began. After having spent about 2 years there, I moved on to InvestSmart India Limited, which was a subsidiary of ILNFS. And I used to basically trade fixed income securities as a broker for a lot of institutional clients, namely banks, mutual funds, then corporates. And in 1999 was when I got an opportunity to come to Kotak Asset Management Company, which was about 6 months old in existence. And they were looking for someone who had experience of having dealing with institutional clients, and they wanted someone who could like reach out to these kind of segments of investors to pitch mutual funds. And that's how my journey in mutual fund industry began, and been in financial services since then. And what's very fulfilling is that even in this profession, most I mean it is a customer, it is a client interfacing kind of a job, where I am not only dealing with direct institutional customers, but most of the time the interactions are with financial advisors, with relationship managers at banks and national distributor. So while it somewhere fulfills and satisfies me on that childhood fantasy that I had of working and dealing and talking and being in a customer centric or customer facing industry, albeit maybe not hospitality and airline, but financial services, which I think itself is a good industry to be part of.
All right. So, um, how do you think startups and technology will impact financial services in the future?
So see, in every business, in every aspects of business, digital and technology is like starting to play a very important role as we move ahead. And especially the last 2 months of lockdown has just reiterated that in a very big way. And I think even as an industry within financial services, specifically mutual funds, digital was it was not something that people were not aware about. In the last 3 4 years, the whole discussion or the orientation towards digitalization had begun in a very big way. One obviously was the advent of a lot of startups who were making it simpler for a customer to buy mutual funds, read about mutual funds, and take a decision, just on the snap of a app, or maybe a couple of steps, and he's like fully invested. And what looked as a threat at that point of time to the traditional industry, in fact, has now become a big opportunity because everybody has moved in that direction. I think everybody has, is in that path of ensuring that digital is the way forward, and I think the industry has really geared up in a very big way. So I don't think so it is a threat anymore, even for traditional distribution. Because one thing we have to keep in mind, Johan, our business is about managing money. Our business is about advising the customer and what he should be doing in investments. And somewhere I think we as Indians are always very comfortable to have that personal touch, to have that reassurance when you sit in front of your advisor, and when he sort of tells you what to do, and also gives you that reassurance that whatever I'm telling you to do is the right thing for you. I think that reassurance is very very important in our business at least. And so I don't think so digital can overtake traditional. I think they can coexist. I think digital in fact will help traditional people to become that much more savvier, and at least to improve their productivity.
All right. So, what guidance do you have for a student who aims to pursue a career in financial services in the near future?
Sure. So I think I've in my career I have visited a lot of campuses. I have done interviews on campuses, and like many a times we do look at recruiting fresh graduates from such schools. And even if I go back to my time, I think what happens is during our study program, many a times we have this dream that financial services means investment banking, financial services means fund management, financial services means research. And I think a lot of people have those preconceived notions in their mind, especially during their study program, and say that okay, fine, financial services means I have to become a fund manager or an investment banker. But the gamut of financial services is far far more. It's just not investment banking, it's just not fund management, it's just not research. I mean, there are areas in financial services like say corporate treasury. You could be in finance, financial controller. There are rating agencies, there are various gamuts of financial services that one can be part of. Even within mutual funds, today as an industry, we are a very, it's a very large industry. We have a large workforce of people across the industry, both on sales and distribution side. And I think I have been part of this for the last 17, 18 years. And I can tell you that, it is extremely fulfilling, because not every day is the same day. It's not a routine, mundane job that you're going to every day. Every day there is some new dynamics that the job throws at you. It could be volatility of the markets. It could be outlook of the economy. It could be maybe some of the funds suddenly may not be performing as per the expectations of the advisor and the client. They could be, so there's always a constant search for information. And either it is coming from clients, it is coming from distributors. So no, I cannot every day is not a routine day. Every day is very different. And it always keeps throwing you different challenges. And the motivation is in terms of how you are able to, like, sort of live up to those challenges. And at the end of the day, the most satisfying thing is that based on your advice or based on your discussions with the clients or your advisor, if they make investment decisions, and when those investment decisions play out well over long periods of time, maybe medium term, long term, and when we see that at the end of the day, because of some contribution that you have made in the investment making process, if a customer is able to achieve his life goals, I think it is very very fulfilling. So I always, whenever I, like, when I make presentations to distribution community also, I always use this sentence saying that somewhere I think we are all in a very noble profession, because based on advices that we give, we are helping investors achieve their goals. We're helping them achieve their short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. And I'm sure somewhere directly, indirectly, at the end of the day, when that investor achieves his goals, he's at least giving us blessings. So we say that कहते हैं ना कि दुआएं भी मिलती है साथ में in this profession. And yes, at the other thing is, you always have to be up the curve when it comes to information. So you have to ensure that you're well read, you're well informed, you know about what are the dynamics currently happening as far as the market is concerned, economy is concerned, because at the end of the day you're the first port of call to your customers who may want to need some information that they may require on an urgent basis to take some investment decisions, or just to decide that should I continue staying investing. So they so you're always up the knowledge curve. You're always, you're ensuring that you are completely well read, you're completely well informed. So I think it's a mix and match of I would say, where you know about your content. You have to, you're well read, you have source of information that is available to you, so that you're able to disseminate that to investors and customers and clients also. And at the end of the day, it's interesting because uh, every day will throw you a new challenge, and it's all about how you overcome those challenges at the end of the day.
All right. So thank you, Manish. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Johan.